Okay. Let's see something. I actually want to hear what's going on. What's going on? Okay, I think I figured this out. I'm trying to do this YouTube stream and stuff. Cause. All right. Seven offline. Hey, So, all right, y'all. What's good? Welcome to the stream Thursday night. It's your boy KJB. We tapped in. It's Friday. We about to get janky this weekend. I don't know. I'm just saying stuff right now. 'Cause look, y'all, it's been a minute. Last time I know I realized I had some like issues. Hold on, let me turn down this audio a little bit, okay? Because I was just saying, last time I realized I had issues because I was doing when I was recording, like my mic was actually like messed up, like I had it plugged into the wrong USB port, and on my computer for some reason it's just certain ports on the back of my computer that when you plug in the microphone, the audio is like distorted. Like I actually had someone comment on my other video because I'm about to go back and delete the last stream too. I had someone comment on my other video talking about, hey, bro, are you using a voice changer? At first, because I didn't really like, I didn't go through and watch it like that. And I went back and watched it, and I was like, yo, like, I sound crazy. Like, this is not how I want to sound. Like, so it sounded like I had a voice changer, but it wasn't just like having a voice changer. It was also like as if my microphone, it was just cutting on and off. It just wasn't like up to par with how I wanted to sound. Like I just got this whole microphone set up because that's the whole thing about doing YouTube. Like one thing that I noticed, like I see a lot of channels and they're uploading videos, they're talking about like making content and stuff, but like they just don't have good audio, bro. Like there's only so far that you can move with not having good audio. So I kind of was just like, you know what? I'm gonna invest into some good audio, and this is what I got. So, right now we just chilling. It's about 1:45 p.m. here Central Time, North Texas. I didn't post this stream on my Instagram because like I want to start like posting the streams like on the Instagram page, just on my social media in general. Cause I mean, ain't nothing else to do, and plus like man, shit getting crazy, man. Like, I know y'all done seen them protests, all that stuff that's been going on, like pretty much across the nation. I'm gonna try and I'm trying to get to go to something this Saturday. I know they have some stuff going on in Dallas this Saturday. I was looking at like protests and whatnot. Like Dallas, I don't know. Like I feel like shit don't really pop off here like it does like in LA or something like that. Cause they was going crazy, man. But I guess we can go ahead and just look at it real quick because the LA protests and riots. I feel like this is interesting. This is one thing that I knew that when Trump got elected, this is something that I expected to come back because the thing about like when we have Biden as the president is like people just kind of fell asleep for a little bit. It was like, okay, we got rid of Trump. Now we can relax a little bit. And I notice how, like, shortly after Trump is the president, like, we're already up in the streets again. I don't know, just something to take note of. I do think that, like, this could perhaps lead to something else, but as of now, I don't know. Like, it just seems really, it's organized, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I don't know what's gonna come out of it, but I do like to see it. Um, okay, hold on. Let me try and make sure I got this right. Okay, yeah, display capture. Okay, let's see. Um, okay, I think I got it now. I think I got it. Oh, primary monitor. No, not that one. I want the other one. Okay. There we go. All right. So the thing about protests, Americans, we are generally very docile people. One of the things about us is that like we have so much crazy like bullshit happening to us in this country, and we just do not fight back. It's kind of like I don't know if it's like it's a cultural thing. Like we have it in our mindsets, like we gotta pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and like the idea of doing these sort of like collective protests, like you really have to like you gotta push us. I mean, we it's not that we can't do it. It's just that like we choose not to do it, even though like there's just so much stuff going on in this country at any given time. It's kind of sad how we don't how we don't actually do nothing about it, right? So like when I see these protests, I was like, oh shit, finally, like we people out here like was it 700 Marines mobilized to Los Angeles after violent protest over immigration riots. Like, damn, bro, they really sent Trump, the government. Like, I'm trying to see something, bro. Didn't Trump sends Marines? Trump sends military. What did he send? Yeah, bro, they're sending Marines. Marines deployed to L.A. It's crazy, bro. Like, this is civilians. Troops and the Marines deeply troubled by LA deployment. Morale is not great. Hey, we gonna watch the video first, but then we're gonna check out this article afterwards, cause that's something else that I want people to understand. Like, when you send the military out, it's like, bro, you're literally sending like people who have families like against like their own like fellow citizens, like their fellow oftentimes working class people. So it's like I don't. Okay, like we'll get into that later, but like, let's just watch the video.
Tonight after sweeping immigration raids sparked
I actually
protests
want to
and
see.
clashes tonight. A U.S. official now confirming to ABC News 700 Marines are now on their way to Los Angeles
Damn.
to join California's National Guard, which was deployed by the
Bro.
president, not that state's governor. Late this afternoon, a peaceful protest after the arrest of a union leader, but the city is bracing for nightfall. It was a
Man.
far different scene over the weekend. Protesters setting up
Goddamn,
fireworks
bro.
right there. Police
Fireworks.
officers right nearby.
On
A
the
line of
po- on the-
self-driving vehicles set on
12,
fire.
bro.
Crowd shutting down the 101 freeway downtown. LAPD officers trying
Man.
to move them off. The moment a U.S.-based
This is what you could
correspondent from
expect out of
Australia
a Trump
reporting on the
presidency. Like,
protests.
people.
You can see there, she's hit by an officer's rubber bullet.
Wow.
President Trump going over the governor's head, sending the state's National Guard to the scene, and tonight he's rubber bullet.
Wait. Okay.
Downtown, LAPD officers trying to move them off. The moment a U.S.-based correspondent from Australia reporting on the protests.
Ooh.
You can see there, she's hit by an officer's rubber
That's bad.
bullet.
Hey, bro,
President
it's
Trump
somebody
going over the
like
governor's-
it's so funny because like somebody told me the other day it was like, oh, police officers they should use like rubber bullets. They should use like the fake bullet. I was like, no, they use them like on protesters. Like whenever it comes to a protest, that's when they pull them out. Which is it's better than like them actually shooting people for real. But like they like okay, imagine if they actually kill somebody at least this early on in protest. Like all you're doing is like you're making the movement, like you make the movement insane. So it's good for them from their point of view to not kill protesters and not actually shoot them with real bullets. But it is still kind of like crazy because apparently like we're supposed to be able to like protest whenever we feel something is going wrong and we want it to change. But you'll get shot by bullets. So
Ted sending the state's National
any kind
Guard
of
to the
bullets,
scene, and tonight
it's
he's now
bad.
sending hundreds of these U.S. Marines. Our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, leading us off tonight on the scene in
bro.
Los Angeles. Matt is one-on-one with Border Czar Tom Homan tonight.
Oh no,
Tonight,
this fucking dude.
700 Marines are
The
on
border
their way
czar,
to the
oh,
streets
yeah.
of Los Angeles.
Hey, you know he worked for Obama? Like Trump's border dude he literally worked for Obama.
Violent
There's
clashes
very
with
much a real
protesters
difference between Democrats and Republicans.
administration's
Remember
immigration
that.
policies and arrests. Over the past 72 hours, pockets of LA descending into chaos. Protesters setting
Hey.
cars on fire, dumping bikes and scooters on
Hey,
police
bro, this
cruisers
shit getting
on the
real
highway.
over there. What the?
Law enforcement firing hundreds of flashbangs and non-lethal projectiles and making dozens of arrests. It got so
Yeah,
heated in
man.
the streets that a British photographer needed emergency surgery after being struck by a non-lethal projectile.
Moving them on through the
And there was this moment. Watch as a correspondent for 9
Like, I'm kind of scared, bro, because, like, hey, like, I want to start going to protests, but, like, man, I gotta protect myself, and if you're gonna go to a protest, make sure you protect yourself. Make sure you wear a mask. You don't want your boss seeing you on TV having a little talk. Like you don't want none of that. You don't want to be arrested. Try and avoid that if you can. If you go to protest, but I think the people need to. It's about time, bro. There's been too much shit going on in this country for too long. Yeah, bro. People need to stand up and fight back. Like I don't know, and this is it's sad that it takes this far to get us there. You know what I'm saying? Like we should have been in the streets, to be honest. Like not even it shouldn't have taken all of this, but hopefully I'm hoping that this could spark into protesting for like other things like day-to-day life improvements. Like ICE is just it's like one of 1,000 different issues. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things wrong with what's going like there's so many things wrong with this country. It's kind of like a Black Lives Matter thing. Like, yeah, like police brutality is a big issue, but there's like so many things that are wrong in this country. And like, I don't know. Like I said, I hope that this time, like the protests that are spiking up around the country, I hope they stick and turn into something bigger because, man, like I don't know, it's just crazy, bro. Like, damn, they really shot her ass.
On the protest when an
Nah, I hope she's okay though.
And tonight an
Damn.
War of words between California Governor Gavin Newsom and Donald Trump.
I love that, bro. Like performative actions at its finest. Gavin Newsom suing Trump. I'll sue you.
Marines in California.
We hope to have the support of Gavin because Gavin's the big beneficiary as we straighten out his problems. I mean, his state is a mess.
Newsom then slammed by
Yeah, man. Republicans, they love.
for his response to the unrest. Homan initially suggested
They're funny,
Trump
bro.
should be arrested, something Trump seemed to
Bro, Gavin Newsom, he just looks like, oh my god, I don't know, bro. He looks like a villain. Like, he looks like a villain in like a Disney movie. Like, I don't know, like, bro, he looks like he has like ice power. Like, bro, he fucking hell, I don't know, bro. Like, he just, I don't trust him, bro. Like, I don't know. He's. I mean, they got greasy Gavin. Bro, I don't know, man. Like, fucking Gavin Newsom, bro. Like, is I mean, they all look like villains, so don't get it twisted. Trump.
He's done a terrible job.
Newsom responding again, calling that an unmistakable step toward authoritarianism. I asked Homan about
Man, bro.
Gavin Newsom crosses whatever threshold it is and violates the law. Do you have the authority to arrest him or
If he broke the law,
Hey, bro, I just want to remind you, this is Trump's border guy, and he worked for Obama too. So if you think there's any real difference between Republicans and Democrats, just remember that Trump's border guy worked for Obama. Okay, like Obama is the one who started this deportation nonsense, and then it slowly escalated and got more and more. It's become more and more of a problem each passing year, each administration. Trump is just the goddamn, bro.
There's some projectiles being thrown just moments ago. A motorcycle seemed to try to break through the police skirmish line, and now you can hear all those flashbangs going off. Police are trying to push those protesters back, firing those less than lethal.
Yeah, man.
And you can see those projectiles being thrown over. Now that motorcycle is being hauled.
Damn, look how he's freaking. Look at how he's, bro. Look at how he's like holding, bro. Like, shit.
Looks like he's being arrested.
LAPD's chief overnight saying they may need more help.
We are overwhelmed as far as the number of people out there engaged in this.
Oh my god. Like, I don't know, bro.
And the type of things that they're doing.
They're dropping fireworks on the cops. Love to see it.
Calling for the release of a prominent union leader arrested Friday during one of those workplace raids.
A lot of us are American citizens. So then what are we working for? What is the American dream? It doesn't even exist when you're picking people out of the street.
The American dream, it doesn't exist. You have to be, what is it, the quote, you have to be asleep to believe it. Like, a lot of people still believe in it, right? Or they at least believe in, like, their ability to succeed within the current confines of the system. However, as time goes on and on, it's only going to become more obvious that we need to move beyond this current economic system, capitalism, and all that shit. It's only gonna get worse. And I mean, you know what, bro? Like, I'm here for it in a sense of like, I don't know. I'm ready to fight. You know, bro. I'm tired of this nothing happening. Like, I want to go outside. Oh wait, never mind. I didn't say that. Allegedly, like I don't know. I didn't mean to say. I don't mean it like that. I'm not gonna. I'm at best a peaceful protester. I'm not one of those people. Like, trust me. I'm peaceful, bro.
David, just want to give you a sense of where we are.
I am. Like, I'm not. I am peaceful. Like, I will not harm nobody. So.
You can see that line of federal agents and California National Guard. Right now, everything is peaceful, but on the other side, there are probably about 100 LAPD in riot gear.
So, like, okay, bro, if everything's peaceful, then why are the cops in riot gear, you know?
Supports additional troops in downtown Los Angeles, but a short time ago, Governor Gavin Newsom tweeting that the presence of active duty Marines here in Los Angeles is un-American. David.
Matt Guppin leading us off on a Monday.
Active duty in downtown Los Angeles, but a short time ago, Governor Gavin Newsom tweeting that.
Yeah, performative shit. Like, he's like, bro, Gavin Newsom, he wants to be the president, and I don't know, bro. And you know how the people in Canada, like, they hated Trudeau. It's like, yeah, like, imagine. I mean, that's pretty much what you would get. Like, it would just be like America's like Trudeau. If those of you who know like about Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, yeah, that's literally what that would be. I wonder like what it's like going. I wonder what it's like in Canada. It's just, by the way, like Canada is literally just America with less guns, and somehow it's even more expensive to live there. So I mean. Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, there's, like, if you're driving through a Canadian town versus an American town, like, there might be some subtle differences, but, like, you're not gonna be able to fucking tell the difference. Like I said, there's less guns, and they have, I don't know, better, like, healthcare. That's it. Like, I don't know, there's no other differences. Okay, I've never been to Canada, but, like, come on, bro. Like, there are differences, but there are, like, let's be for real. There's very few differences between Canada and America. A lot of our cultural brain rot goes over there very easily. Since we speak the same language, and, oh my goodness. We speak the same language, and we have... yeah, like, it's just like, okay, you go over to Canada, for example. Let me just pull it up on the map. This is the second time I've done that. I need to make sure that whenever I pull up the map, it doesn't pull up my location while I'm on YouTube. Okay. For example, like Canada. You go here, right? This is Canada. This is America. Like, literally, bruh. When I zoom in on this American town, it's like, okay, go over to the Canadian town. It doesn't look all that different, is what I'm saying. Like, you can't tell the difference between like your average Canadian place. Like, if you're going in here, bro, like, this literally looks just like America. This is Ontario in Canada. Like, literally, bro, it looks like the United States. What is this, Arby's? Like, come on, bro. Like, this is not. You can't convince me that this isn't the 51st state. Like, like, come on, bro. All right, okay. Anyways, but like, here's the thing, right? The Marines being deployed to the LA. Okay, like, troops and Marines deeply troubled by LA deployment. Morale is not great. Several service members told advocacy groups that they felt like pawns in a political game, and the assignment was unnecessary. Hey. Yeah, so I mean, this is what I want to tell people. Like, you know, a lot of people will feel like, oh, America is it's unique in the sense that like people will never like be able to overcome the force of the government. Like, but the military is literally made up of people, so there can be a point where like even the military could be like, okay, yeah, we're not gonna go in and shoot protesters. Like, I don't know, bro. These are people too. Like, they're not just, like I said, they told their advisors that they felt like pawns in a political game and that they felt the assignment was necessary, but like unnecessary. But like, they go there because it's their job. But like, if there's a point where like your morals will kick in, right? For at least a lot of people, maybe not for everyone, but like, let's just say like if you are like a military service member and your command is to like go and shoot civilians of your own country, like how many of them are actually going to just blindly follow through with that order? Like, I don't know. We have to think about these things because, you know, in times like this, like shit is going to get more and more real. And I don't know. But California National Guard troops and Marines deployed to Los Angeles to help restore order after days of protests against the Trump administration. They've told friends and family members that they are deeply unhappy about the assignment and worry about their own only meaningful role as pawns in a political battle that they do not want to join. 3 different advocacy organizations representing military families said that they heard from dozens of affected service members who expressed discomfort about being drawn into a domestic policing operation outside their normal fields of operations. The group said they have heard no countervailing opinions. The sentiment across the board right now is that deploying military force against our own communities isn't the kind of national security we signed up for, said Sarah Strider of the Secure Families Initiative, which represents the interest of military spouses, children, and veterans. Families are scared, not just for their loved one's safety, although that's a big concern, but for also what their service is being used to justify. Yeah, bro, like a lot of these people, okay, I don't even want to. A lot of people join the military because, you know, they want to pay for college. It's the military is quite literally like, it's basically what like a national jobs program would be. So let's just say like the military is a type of national jobs program. However, like what it's being used for aren't exactly the best things. Because speaking of the military, we're going to get to it in a second. But you know, Trump is like talking about going to war again, like, which is, which is great. Okay, but anyways, families are scared for not just for the loved ones' safety, but for what their service is being used to justify. I mean, yeah, bro, people, these are still people. They're working class people at the end of the day, and they are not just pawns. A part of me wonders like how this is gonna like happen. Like when you talk about like the potential like for like a global war again, like is there going to be any sort of like large scale mutiny when it comes to like military people? Are they going to just be mindlessly deployed to other countries? I don't know. I think it's just something that we'll have yet to see. It's a very peculiar question to me. Okay, so yeah, California's Governor Gavin Newsom saying earlier this week that the city risked being obliterated by violent protesters without them. Earlier this week, he activated 700 Marines from the 29 Palms base, 2 hours drive to the east, describing Los Angeles as a trash heap that it was in danger of burning to the ground. Yeah, bro, Trump is fascist. He would love for the military. You remember? Did you not remember when Trump said that he wanted? He was like, he said he wanted Hitler's generals or some shit. Like, I'm just like, okay, bruh. Like, just crazy, man. Make sure I'm still up on the live, bruh. Okay, people are still watching it. No one's watching it right now. That's the thing, right, bro? No, so like the live streams, I'm gonna try, just a little side note, try and do them every Monday and Friday going from now, and then like throughout the week, I wanna like upload clips from the live streams, cut them up into like concurrent video, like, you know, into videos, and then whenever. So yeah, that's the plan for the live streams. We're gonna be talking about like you know, real world events, politics, you know, news, and then like just like, you know, just general fun shit. Like sometimes we'll do sports, video games, like all that type of shit. But mostly like real world news, politics from like a socialist, left-wing perspective. I'm an American, so I'm a Black American, so there's that, and there's that side of it as well. You know, I'm also like 24 years old. There's a lot. I feel like that this perspective that I have is not really on YouTube, so I feel like I'm trying to like offer something unique here. Yeah, bro, we have a world to win. Like, let's just say that. That's what I believe, and it starts in streets. So it's like to me, like this is kind of like it sucks that it has to be this way, but like this is like sort of like the type of stuff that we need to see happening more often. Like Americans in general, like we just don't fight back, and that's really our problem, right? Okay, yeah, let's get back to the article though, like, cause I just think that this is so like crazy. Like, you have literally the troops are like, nah, bro, like we don't like this, and they're feeling like they're being used as political pawns because they're human beings. Like, that's why it's so funny. Like, people are like, oh, like you could never have a revolution in America, yada yada, because the military, they're just too indoctrinated. Like I've literally heard people say that, and it's just like, are you sure about that? Because I feel like they're people, they're working class people, and they have brains of their own. Like they're not just I don't know. So yeah, the military, the Marines are like, nah, we really don't like what Trump is doing. Like I said, he did say a few months ago. What did Trump say, bro? Let me look this up real quick. Trump Hitler, generals. I'm just trying to see, bro. Did Trump said Hitler did good things and wanted generals like the Nazis, former chief of staff Kelly claims. Trump was like, he said, I need the kind of generals that Hitler had. And so when he sends the protesters, when he sends the military out to peaceful protests, understand that this is what he wants. He wants that effect. And let's be for real, bro. Whoever the Nazis, the first people that they targeted were activists and socialists, and just the people who opposed the Nazi regime. Those were the first ones they went after, even before they went after the Jews. So, like, understand that, like, this is what Trump wants. Like, he when he says I need the kind of generals that Hitler had, like, there's a reason for that. Like, this is exactly what we're living through right now. But speaking of Trump and the military, let's talk about Iran. Okay, hold on, bro. Okay, next time we're going the more I stream, the more like we're gonna have this stuff. We're gonna have this stuff like really. We're gonna have this stuff really. We're gonna have this stuff really like pre-streamed. I just kind of went to hop on it, and I did it like cold turkey today, just because I was like, dang, bro, I really am feeling like inspired. Like I need to go ahead and do something. Well, Trump warns a strike on Iran could very well happen if no nuclear deal signed. Gee, I wonder what happened to the last nuclear deal that there is not. I wonder if there was a nuclear deal in place previously. I wonder what happened to the last one. Anyways, Trump warned that Thursday that a massive conflict could break out in the Middle East over the issue of Iran's nuclear program, but said he wants a diplomatic resolution after the United Nations nuclear watchdog found that Tehran had failed to comply with its non-proliferation obligations for the first time in 2 decades. Trump has said recently that he has held Israel back from attacking Iran's nuclear processing facilities and threatened that if the current talks between the United States and Iran don't curb the latter's ability to enrich uranium, then military strikes are an option. Yeah, bro. He is just like a toddler throwing like a temper tantrum, but instead like he has like nuclear launch codes, and he happens to be at the head of the most powerful country in the world. Like, yeah, I don't know. Let me see. Iran. Let's actually just go and find. Let's talk about it. It's stuff is just heating up over there in Israel and Iran. I don't think that this will be like, oh, this is Fox News. Breaking news: Israel strikes Iran, because this is the type of thing though, because I want people to understand, like, those of you who are like Americans. Israel striking Iran, like the things that go on over there, like we get a lot of like oil and stuff like that from over there in that region. Like so, a lot of shit that even when things go on over there, it could very well come back over here. Like that's what I'm saying. There could be very real economic impacts to like wars and just battles being fought abroad. It's just because we live in such a globalized economy that like it doesn't even like something that happens all across the globe could easily come back over here and we could experience the pain very shortly of this, but it's yet to be seen. Yeah, Israel is crazy. Free America from AIPAC. Israel is absolutely out of control. Yeah, bro, Israel is I'm not dying for Israel. I like that. Like generally speaking, like a lot of Americans feel like they're just not like what you want to send us over there? Like Trump talking about going to war with Iran, like in order to like defend Israel. It's like what? But like I like that. People are like, I'm not dying for Israel. Iran's been a week away from having a nuke for 30 years. Born too late to deploy to the Middle East. Born too early to deploy to the Middle East. Born just in time to deploy to the Middle East, bro. I'm not going, bro. I'm not going, bro. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not going. Suspend all aid to Israel. Thoughts and prayers for Iranians. America should not lift a finger to help Israel. Please, God, help no. Hell no, we should not. Let them defend themselves with their own money, not ours. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I'm not dying for Israel. Thank you. A lot of people saying that. And then, like, even with the other thing, like the Trump, the military is like, we don't even feel comfortable, like, going after these protesters. And then you're like, you want to send us to Israel? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, let's see what we got here. If this loads.
Hello, everybody. It's about 8:30 p.m. here on the East Coast. I have some very grave news to share with all of you. Israel has now conducted strikes on Iran, something that we warned about on our today's program.
Dang,
however, very few people expected it for actually to take place tonight. I'm going to go ahead and share just some of the details that we have initially. Ryan and Crystal and Emily will have a Friday show. They're going to do a full spectrum reaction tomorrow. But here's what we know immediately. Keep again in mind these strikes just took place about 15 minutes ago or so. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys.
They're right on top of it.
Of Tehran. You can see smoke plumes that are rising.
Yeah, this is not. It doesn't look good.
Presume that though, of course, given the rhetoric and some of the reporting that we had previously known. What we do know is that Israel has confirmed that they have taken these strikes on Iran, and they are now directly.
Yeah, bro, they're literally crashing out. Israel is crashing out.
Quote, for days
like this
of
is
battle.
this is a nationwide global crash out.
That Israel is now expecting attacks, retaliatory attacks from Iran after this strike. I do want to just underscore how absolutely extraordinary this all is. And you know, just literally hours ago here in Washington, President Trump, quote, said he wanted an agreement with Iran and stressed that the United States is close to a good deal with the Iranians. This was, again, literally hours ago. Look at the timestamp here. Quote, I prefer a deal as long as I think there is a chance. I would rather that they, quote, the Israelis, don't go in order not to ruin it. Did you all underscore that one? In order not to
Bro, no, bro. Israel, they saw this shit and was like, nah, bro, we gonna ruin it just cause. No, we don't. We just gonna crash out, bro. We're, like, what? So they probably that's hilarious, bro. They saw that and they were like, nah, we just gonna ruin it just because he said we hope he doesn't ruin it. He said he hopes we don't ruin it. And we're just gonna ruin it. That's I bet that's how they thought. Like I like dead ass.
Order not to ruin it. Did you all underscore that one? In order not to ruin it. And literally again, just
bro, they did that on purpose, bro.
Following that, and clearly
they did that on purpose.
Maybe a shot across the bow at the Israelis if they did not listen from Donald Trump. This again was just literally 3 hours ago. Quote,
we remain committed to a diplomatic resolution to the Iran nuclear issue. My entire administration has been directed to negotiate with Iran. They could be a great country, but they must first completely give up hopes of maintaining a nuclear weapon. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay. Yeah, that's insane, bro. Israel was like, yeah, fuck you. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, that's literally what I don't know. I think that's literally what they said.
We remain.
They're bro. This is a crazy. It's a crash out, but it's like they're literally having like a genocidal nationwide just crash out. Like it is. This is a. I don't know. Bro. I don't even know what to call it. Like it's just they're just. Like they're ran by literally insane people. Like I think every country to a certain extent is ran by insane people, but like Israel is just like on a different level. Like bro, like it's insane. Like I don't know. This is what like I imagine like what is going on in Israel is what the Holocaust would have looked like if they had like smartphones back in like 1930s Germany. Like this is exactly, you know, they're crashing out, except they don't really have the industrial base that Germany had back then. So I think like they're not able to do they're not able to do shit on the same scale as Germany. Like nor do they have like as many allies like in their region, especially as Germany did back in World War II days. But it is kind of like, I don't know, bro. I imagine that like what we're seeing out of Israel is like similar to what Germany must have looked like back then. It's just like now they have like smartphones and news is so like instant, quickly. Like the whole world is turned against them in a way that I don't think would have been possible like 70, 80 years ago. Like when Deutschland was popping off on their shit. When Trump's what is it? Trump's Trump's inspiration, when he was, doing his thing, like it's crazy.
To the Iran nuclear issue. My entire administration has been directed to negotiate with Iran. They could be a great country, but they must completely give up hopes of obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, bro.
Thank you
Israel
for
was like,
attention
nah.
to this matter.
Israel
Just a
said,
couple
nah,
things
bro.
on this
Fuck
issue.
your deal.
The United States was scheduled to meet tomorrow with the Iranians.
That's
to
crazy. They
potentially
did that on
reach some sort
purpose,
of
bro.
nuclear agreement. The
Tomorrow.
Israelis are now sending a message to us and to the world.
Israel
We
was
don't
like,
care about
nah,
any of
bro.
it. Diplomacy itself is
They
fake.
said, fuck
according
your
to them.
deal, bro.
What they have chosen to do is to directly slap the United States here in the face and the entire world
Like-
for any chance of diplomacy. They have now
Nah,
forced
yeah,
our
it's
hand
a
and their
global
own by
crash out.
creating this geopolitical crisis here in the United States. Remember,
Like
all of this
I
comes
think
from the
they're
fact
doing this because they're doing this in hoping that like But bro, by the way, this dude's bookshelf is kind of like, oh shit. I love how you have like Stalin and then like Bill Clinton, like like I don't know, his bookshelf's like all over the place. But I'm saying like, bro, like literally they did this they were just like, nah, like fuck your deal. Like they did that on purpose. And it's almost like they want to bring the US in to their, like they want us to like send some troops over there. They want us to go to war with Iran. That's why they did that. Like they're like, oh, you're trying to make peace with them? Nah, we're just gonna strike them, and we're gonna like, I guess we'll see what happens, right?
that the United States got either wind, perhaps they were
How long
supporting
ago was
something
this?
like
6
this
hours?
on the back end. We will soon learn if details become clear on that front. We will remain tuned for that because it is certainly possible. All of this has been a giant head fake from the Trump administration. They knew the entire time. They supported them with intelligence, and you will certainly hear that from me and from the show if we are able to get that information. But in terms of what we know publicly, and I can say I've been on the phone literally all day with my sources in and around Washington. Many of them warned me that something very, very bad was going to happen, but the general optimism was both Trump's rhetoric, as we saw from a couple of hours ago, and the fact that we still had perhaps a chance at these nuclear talks with Steve Witkoff that were going to happen tomorrow. Israel has now wiped all of that off off of the table. They have chosen to start this war. This will almost certainly lead to retaliation and to United States intervention. We will be absolutely lucky if all we have to do is spend $5 to $10 billion just protecting
they're
the
Nazis,
state of Israel,
bro.
given the way that our current politics
How long?
is.
How much did he say?
Not to mention that Iran has said directly that any strikes on its nuclear facilities, not to mention just protecting this, if all we have to do is spend $5 to $10 billion
Just another 5 to 10 billion for Israel. Like,
just protecting the state of Israel, given the way that our current politics is. Not to mention that Iran has said directly that any strikes on its nuclear facilities would lead to retaliatory strikes against the United States and against Israel.
Bro.
A broader conflagration is now absolutely certain. It is certain. This is this is a historic moment. And I'm just going to leave everybody with this, that just today, Steve Witkoff briefed members of the United States Senate, in which he warned, quote, Iran's response to an Israeli strike would be a mass casualty event. And I'm going to read.
yeah, bro. I mean, I guess this is just it's 2025. Mass death and destruction is the name of the game. It will be for the foreseeable future. Yeah, let's see what they said. White House envoy Steve Witkoff previously warned top Senate Republicans last week that Iran could unleash a mass casualty response if Israel bombs their nuclear facilities, according to the U.S. official and a source with direct knowledge. Israel planning to strike Iran quickly if Witkoff's diplomacy fails. This weekend, Trump's envoy sounded the alarm about what will come next. Iran's retaliation could overwhelm Israel's defenses and cause heavy damage. Like, yeah, no shit. Iran is like way bigger than Israel. Like, the only reason that like Israel has been able to do what it's doing is because of direct support from the United States. You know, we've been I'm like, dang, bro, it's so crazy because it's like when they take those taxes out of my paycheck, I'm like, dang, bro, it's literally going to like bomb children and shit. Like, it's, I mean, I know like that's not how, you know, federal spending works, but like I mean, it's kind of like it's what it represents, right? Like you're paying for that, you know, as a U.S. citizen. Like we're paying to bomb children and you know, basically just, I don't know, we're paying for that. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. I want to read a bit more up on Israel. Like I feel like I need to be a bit more like informed on these topics, but like bro, it's insane. Like Trump told reporters Thursday that he doesn't want to say an Israeli strike is imminent, but that it very might well happen. Trump stressed that he wants to avoid conflict, said that he will require concessions that Iran has been unwilling to make. So even if like even if like Iran was like even if like he was gonna come to the table, it doesn't mean that he was gonna get a deal done. By the way, real quick, right? Have y'all seen like Trump's deal, his tariff deal with China? Like, you can't make this shit up, bro. Oh my God. Hold on. Trump's tariffs with China. Oh my God, bro. Here we go. Let's just go back to the Guardian again. Like I just think it's funny. Trump says China will face 55% tariffs as he endorses trade deal. Agreement struck in London will increase supply of rare earth minerals and magnets for U.S. car industry. So I guess he got some magnets and minerals. Although, you know, everything else is a 55% tariff. Bro, you know what's crazy? Because like I work in a warehouse and we like unload stuff, and it's like I was like looking at our boxes and I'm like, bro, like I swear, like off the eye test, like at least like 90% of the stuff that we are importing here is like made in China. And we have literally it's been slow like inbounding stuff and like unloading like shit from the truck because we just haven't had freight coming in. So like the impacts of these tariffs are very real. And yeah, like I don't know, bro, like I feel like, you know, stuff is just gonna get wicked, but it's already wicked. But it's like he's just doing it for no reason other than like he's just mad that the U.S. is no longer like dominant as it once was, like after World War II and all that stuff. because we're the only country that didn't get attacked because they didn't fight on our soil. Like a lot of the fighting that took place in World War II happened in Europe and Asia and like in Africa, like in other places, everywhere but the U.S., because that's where most of the other countries that were involved in that war were fighting. And obviously, countries from the Americas got involved in that too, but like most of the fighting took place in Europe and Asia. So we came out of that as the strongest power that was relatively unscathed compared to the other countries after the war. Like during the decades from about the 1940s to the 1970s, we were the only major powerful country that didn't get wiped out. We were the ones we were able to, we basically, okay, while all these other countries were rebuilding our cities, we were like bulldozing ours and destroying ours for fun. We were destroying our cities on purpose, like for no reason. While a lot of Europe and Asia they were literally forced to rebuild theirs. Kind of funny how that works. 'Cause we're yeah. But yeah, during that time, those other countries were too busy rebuilding their cities to really be worried about anything else. They had to basically rebuild their civilizations from the ground up. Meanwhile, we had all this wealth. We had all this, like, we were relatively unscathed compared to those other countries. But what has happened is that in the decades following that reconstruction, the rebuilding, they've started to challenge the U.S. They've started to compete again. The playing field has been leveled, so to speak, or at least it's getting there. I mean, that's part of the reason why they hate China, because China has been rapidly industrializing, and they've been, coming for our spot. I don't know if that will happen, but at this given rate, it's imminent, right? And that's why Trump is over here trying to do tariffs with China, hoping that they'll cripple China. However, we need China way more than they need us. Like, it's so funny because like Trump is like, he thinks that we hold all the cards, but the cards are made in China. Okay? The cards are literally made in fucking China. So, it is what it is. Okay. Donald Trump has endorsed the U.S.-China trade deal stuck in London that will ramp up supplies of rare earth minerals and magnets needed for the automotive industry, saying that it will take the total tariffs on Beijing to 55%. Only 55%. Remember when he said 145% tariffs on China? Acknowledging that his Chinese counterpart, Xi Jinping, still needed to give his final approval on the terms agreed late on Thursday night at Lancaster House. The U.S. president disclosed the fact that he would also facilitate Chinese students access to U.S. colleges. Well, okay, so he's saying that like Chinese students can come to U.S. Okay, I guess that China was like, "Hey, can we at least send our students over?" He's like, "Okay, fine." It doesn't really sound like we won anything in this deal. The 55% tariff total appears at first glance to be higher from the 30% rate agreed in the truce struck earlier. And the truce struck early last month when both sides slashed triple-digit rates. It was insane, bro. What is 145% tariff? I guess they were just going crazy. However, a White House official said that it merely reflected Trump's worldwide 10% baseline reciprocal tariffs on imports, the 20% fentanyl trafficking levy, and a 25% pre-existing tariff on China. I mean, that's still a lot. It's more than what it was before, meaning that shit from China, which is like, it's just going to be more expensive. But I remember that they did make some exceptions for certain items like mobile devices. So, I don't know, we'll see. Trump added in his Trump added in his post that the deal full of magnets and any necessary rare earths will be supplied upfront by China. Likewise, we provide to China what was agreed to, including Chinese students using our colleges and universities, which has always been good with me. But I mean, like, I don't know, what is the point of this, dude? He's just, like, it just doesn't make any sense from like a U.S. like empire building and maintaining perspective. It's just like all you're doing is causing pain to U.S. people, like, for no reason other than you just hate China. Like, I don't know. Yeah, the U.S. Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick told reporters the London framework put the meat on the bones of an agreement reached last month in Geneva to ease the retaliatory tariffs that had to reach crushing triple-digit levels. Like, okay. It said that he would allow them to implement the Geneva Pact, but was subject to the approval of Trump. And you see, Geneva deal had faltered over China's curbs on critical mineral exports, prompting the Trump administration to respond with export controls of their own, preventing shipments of semiconductor design software, aircraft, and other goods to China. Bro, who... You know, bro, it's like these governments, well, really just like Trump and, you know, his people are fighting this like ego stroking battle. And then, you know, it's all of us who end up losing, right? U.S. deal came as the U.S. car industry drew close to halting production because China had choked off supply of magnets used in windshields and doors. China had a stranglehold on the global market of rare earths and magnets introduced in curbs in April after Trump's decision to launch a trade war. Yeah, like, I love that. The whole point, according to Trump and his like advisors, was to bring back U.S. manufacturing, and then you end up doing exactly the opposite of what you said you were going to do. I love that. We are such smart people. We are being ruled over by. The trade breakthrough came as the U.S. released its latest inflation figures, the Consumer Price Index, which measures the cost of a basket of goods and services, rose to an annual rate of 2.4% in May, up from 2.3% in April. See, this shit is bullshit, right? Yeah, like the CPI, like, bro, on the ground, we feel it's more than that. Just a 0.1% increase is bullshit. Like, they have all these metrics to fool people that don't make things look as bad as they are, so that they can, you know, they can say that, oh, look, see, it's not that bad, but it really is that bad. Like, you're being gaslit by your own, like, government. It's freaking great. Love that. The president has been at, I don't want to read this anymore, bro. It's just so stupid. Like, I don't know, bro. I guess we're only getting 55% tariffs. There's no more, yeah. Small retailers on vacation from hell as they seek clarity on Trump's China tariffs. Yeah. I don't know, bro. We have we are being run by very smart people. I actually, like, I don't know, bro. I don't know where this ends. I think it ends in global economic meltdown. At some point, maybe it'll be because of the tariffs. Maybe it'll be because of some war somewhere. But it's imminent. At this point, it's like the glass is like, it's the bowl of water has been wobbling. There just needs to be something to push it over, and I'm not sure exactly what it will be, but it's happening. There's all these different things happening at one time, and that's usually how like a recession tips off. It's always like all these different factors building up slowly, and then you just need that one catalyst, that one major event to push it over. And I don't know, it could be the tariffs, it could be some shit Israel's doing. Who knows? We just have to wait and see, but I do have good reason to believe that it is inevitable. Of course, you know, due to the instability and the stupidity of our rulers, but also the inherent instability of capitalism itself. Not a good combination, and it is what it is. But okay, now back to Israel and Iran. Let's see.
this. Iran has vowed to strike U.S. targets in the region in the event of an attack on its nuclear facilities. And
Yeah, we're definitely on a war at that point.
what Steve Witkoff told them very specifically behind closed doors in an intelligence briefing, military strikes on Israel are on the table, but he said Iran's ballistic missile capabilities are far more than we previously had thought. The U.S. is concerned Israel's air defenses would not be able to handle an Iranian response involving hundreds of missiles.
Yeah.
Such an attack would cause massive casualties and damage. Witkoff has raised concerns about Iran's ballistic arsenal during a speech. According to U.S. intelligence estimates, Iran has 2,000 ballistic missiles with warheads that carry 2,000 pounds of explosives. Israel is within range for many of these missiles. So we are in a very, very dangerous situation for us and for the world. This is the closest that we have come to a massive war since the breakout of the Ukraine war, but arguably we have never, the United States, been closer to a major war in my lifetime since the war in Iraq. This is an absolutely unprecedented move, earth-shattering move by the state of Israel to force the hand of the United States of America and to bring our troops into this war.
I am interested in how just the people here will respond, like, given all these protests. I feel like that this is going to, bring out more people outside. Like, there's going to be a lot of anti-war protests as a result of this. Because, I mean, bro, people are tired. Like, what are we going to war for? Like, it's so crazy. Like, we're going to war to defend our
we will have so much more
fucking country, right?
To cover this for the next several weeks, months, years.
They're going to.
Given what we know about
Trump
the US
is like, a
foreign
lot of you
policy,
will die, but it's a
my thoughts and
sacrifice I'm
prayers
willing
are
to
with
make.
Every United States service member who is there in the Middle East, we are with you, and I can just promise you on my front.
Oh God, hear from Netanyahu after Israel launches strike against Iran. Let's take a look at this. Netanyahu after Israel launches strike against Iran. Okay.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation
freaking fascist
Rising Lion, a targeted military operation.
Wait.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion,
Rising
a targeted
Lion
military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons.
I love that, bro. Like, Netanyahu, Israel calling someone else genocidal. Like, what? He said, I wonder if the comments, bro, he's like, he said Iran has ramped up its genocidal, okay, it's insane, bro. How many, let's just see something. Israel, civilian, oh my God, I can't speak. I can't, toll. I spelled that wrong. Israel, Gaza health officials say that, bro, this is so funny, bro. Gaza health officials say that 55,000 Palestinians have died in Israel-Hamas war. Bro, it's not a war. It is an ethnic cleansing campaign, and it is the total annihilation of a group of people who have no real means of fighting back. I don't know, bro. Like, there are literally videos of, like, Israeli soldiers, like, literally celebrating, and after they blow up some random person's house, bro. And that's just according to the Gaza health officials. Like, I don't know, like, there's different sources, and this is just this is just like this was like a few years ago, right? This is what is this, April 17th? So this one says the death toll says at 62,000, but there's a lot of other sources that will even tell you that it's much higher than that. Yeah, nearly 70% of Gaza war dead are women and children. Yeah, bro. Yeah, but it's Iran who's genocidal, who has genocidal rhetoric. Okay, okay.
In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps.
Bro, we know if you had the only reason that you guys haven't fucking nuked Gaza is because they're like right next to you. If they were like, if they're just a little further away, like I know that these motherfuckers would have fucking dropped a nuke on their ass. Like it's insane. Like these people are fucking like freaks, bro. Like they're. This is this is what we're being. This is who is running the world right now. Like fucking shit, man.
Steps that it has never taken before. Steps
Like,
to
just
weaponize this
monster.
enriched uranium. And if not
Like
stopped,
this is a
Iran
monster.
could
This
produce
is
a
a
nuclear weapon
real life villain
in a
right here.
very short time. It could be a year. It could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival.
Just like Israel's a clear and present danger to Palestinians.
So, Jim, you hear what he was saying there, talking, this is something we keep hearing from Israeli officials about Iran having enough uranium that he said there it could be 9 atom bombs. Earlier, I'd heard a figure about 10 or so from officials. Is that something that U.S. officials agree with, or what is their view of it?
That's like, I'm just like looking at the map, right? Like to Israel from Iran, there's like there's several like countries in between. Like this could turn into something like kind of crazy. Like I don't know, man. Like, and look at the likes and dislikes. I actually want to see. This is CNN, so like maybe their coverage. I guess we're gonna see how they cover this, because Free Americans from AIPAC. This guy said in 2000 that if Iraq is attacked and Saddam is overthrown, everything will be peaceful in the Middle East. Oh my God. I don't know. Netanyahu keeps getting into more wars so he can keep his job. Hey, bro, if he loses his job as he's doing, but understand, like Netanyahu, bro, like he is going to prison. Like if he loses his, like he is a fascist war criminal. Like he is not just worried about keeping his job. He's worried about his freedom and his life. So this is about more than just a job. Has he got such a new war every time he has to be removed from government? Yeah. Starting a war and playing the victim. Bro, exactly. Operation Kill. Tell Israel to fund and defend itself. Have some,
A statement like that from the Prime Minister.
They certainly agree that the breakout time, as it's known, that the time that Iran would require to go from the fissile material it has right now to enough to create a bomb, has reduced over time, perhaps to as short as a period of weeks. Now, notably, when the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal that President Obama negotiated, was still in place, the goal of that deal was to lengthen that breakout time to months, perhaps to a year. Without that deal, without the monitoring, without
I wonder what happened to the deal.
Iran's enrichment capabilities, that breakout time has reduced
I wonder who,
to perhaps a number of weeks. So what the Prime Minister is saying there is correct. Now, as you know, President Trump's hope was that he could negotiate with Iran to lengthen that breakout period and perhaps, as he said publicly, stop enriching uranium entirely on Iranian soil, which has seemed to be a red line for Iran.
I mean, it's just like, bro, the U.S., like, they think that they can just tell every country what to do, and, you know, they expect that people will just, like, follow along. I mean, for so long that has been the case, but it's, you know, I guess now they're starting to realize that, like, we don't have to really listen to you anymore. Y'all aren't like that anymore. I'm all for it, but, like, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy to see that, as in, like, the people who are in charge, they can't seem to understand it. They're going to try and cling to that level of power that they have for as long as possible. Like, the U.S. is crashing out as well. Like, the U.S. crashing out, Israel crashing out. It's a crash out party, bruh. And I don't know, I'm here for it. Like, as far as I'm concerned, like, all of these, you know, freaking idiots, these freaks in power, they're gonna get what's coming to them, you know? Hell is a hot place. Like, let's just say that. Like,
the question, of course, is, did Trump still have hope that he could make a deal, or had he lost all hope? We don't know. Israel has, well, certainly made negotiations right now, if not extremely unlikely, impossible, right, with the attacks we're seeing tonight.
Yeah, Trump seemed to be more disillusioned about the possibility of that in recent days, but he was still hopeful. I mean, they were still going to the talks, as you mentioned, in Oman this weekend. Jim, stand by. I know you've been talking to your sources. We'll get back to you in a moment as you're hearing more about this attack that's unfolding tonight. Also here is CNN political and global affairs analyst that I just mentioned, Barak Ravid, who is one of the best source reporters in the region. Barak, what are you hearing about why now and what Israel is striking tonight?
So first, Caitlin, something I just
I'm
heard
just like,
from
what?
a senior Israeli official who says that according to Israeli assessments,
We're not gonna watch this entire
there are very
video,
high
but
chances
I'm just
that
like
the
trying to
entire
go over
Iranian
this stuff.
general
Like
staff,
Israel
including the head of the
is
Iranian general staff of the Iranian military, and several senior Iranian nuclear scientists were all eliminated in the Israeli strikes tonight. I hear that again from a senior Israeli official.
dude has attacked
who
6
says
countries in 12
that
months. He's alone
several
responsible for
senior top
70K
Iranian
civilian
military
deaths during that
commanders,
time. The actual
including
estimate of
the
Gaza alone
head
is
of the
between
general
200 and
staff of the
500K.
Iranian military
Yeah, bro, they
and
kill a lot of
senior
freaking people,
nuclear
bro.
scientists have all been targeted in those strikes, and according to IDF assessments, there's a high chance that they've been eliminated.
What?
Have all been targeted.
Oh, they were just like, yeah, bro, we're gonna all your nuclear scientists. The looming war with Iran. Oh God.
Israel is now ready to begin military operations against Iran. Now, it's not.
Bro, he uploaded this videos from 11 hours ago, and the comments like 4 hours is as long as this as age. Insane, bruh. Hey man, shit's actually happening, bro. This is a reminder that history is moving forward and that things happen. And it's like, what are we doing, bruh? Unprecedented nature of Israel's strikes on Iran.
Well, Israel just attacked Iran's nuclear weapons program. Obviously, that is going to drive a news cycle.
Let's watch this.
However, we need to put this particular attack in context, because it is unprecedented. And I do not mean that in the sense that no country has ever attacked another would-be nuclear power before. That's happened a bunch. Rather, the timing of this is incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible.
Very late in the game, and we do not have a great comparison for what the short-run effects here will be. Let's back up a second. The basic premise of Israel's attack is straightforward. If Iran were to ever acquire a nuclear weapon, it would tilt the balance of power in the region toward Tehran's direction. That would allow Iran to take actions that Israel, Saudi Arabia, or the United States would otherwise militarily block. You know the idea with lines on maps, or in this case, more of a lines along an amorphous policy space. The white line represents what is currently the balance of power in the region between Iran and your pick of the opponent. It does not look too great for Iran at the moment because it has no nuclear weapons. In contrast, this black line represents what Iran could expect from a conflict in the future. The space in between represents the shift in the balance of power between Iran and the opponent. There are plenty of reasons to negotiate a resolution both now and in the future, as fighting is costly. However, if those costs
not just
are
costly, it's very destructive
shift in the balance of power,
and deadly.
fighting is better
and
for
these are
Iran's
human
opponent now,
freaking beings.
while Iran is weak. What we have seen overnight is a bet from Israel that the shift, in fact, was relatively large as compared to those costs of war, and so the bombs came raining down. Now, it is way, way too early to be doing a damage assessment to see whether that is correct. But I think it is worth asking more broadly when the shift in the balance of power is large versus when it is small, because that will inform us better about what will happen next.
Yeah, bro.
You might be tempted to say that the expected shift becomes increasingly large as a state gets closer and closer to a nuclear weapon. If, for example, you knew that Iran would have a nuclear weapon tomorrow, then the shift between today and tomorrow is apparently massive. So that seems like a very good time to strike, if that is the route you want to pursue. On the opposite side of the spectrum, when a country first starts developing nuclear technology, the shift may seem rather small. Any shift that could happen would be way, way off into the future. And that is assuming that the country does not have any major setbacks as it is trying to develop a nuclear weapon, aside from your own attacks. Put those two pieces of information together, and clearly you would expect the value of counter-proliferation efforts to maximize the closer a country gets to the bomb. Right? Well, not so fast. The tricky part here is that you do not just get to snap your fingers and terminate a country's nuclear program. You have to actually destroy the would-be nuclear power's infrastructure and technological base.
That's crazy.
Here's the thing. That is much easier to do earlier on in a nuclear program's life cycle. There may literally only be one facility that you need to hit. Indeed, if you look at the closest historical parallels to the Iran strikes, Israel also struck Iraq in 1981 and Syria in 2007. In both of those cases, it was a single facility, really early on in the program's life cycle. Neither country was able to do much after. Iran, in contrast, is on the complete opposite end of the spectrum today. And that is why this attack is so unprecedented. Iran has a ton of facilities. It has enriched a large quantity of uranium and is close to what is necessary for a nuclear weapon. Some estimates put Iran...
I love this, bro. Humanity, like, we have developed so many, like, creative and cool ways to just, like, destroy each other. I really love, like, I really love what our world has become today. Like, we're talking about just, like, we're talking about nuclear weapons, bro. Like, do you know how destructive, like, a nuke actually would be? I don't know. I hope that we never see, like, a nuke actually being used on humans again. But I don't know, bro. Like, some of these people are insane. So, like, I don't know.
Weeks away from constructing a bomb, if the political decision were ever made to do so. And, presumably, there are not major disruptions in the meantime. Of course, you should take those estimates with a grain of salt. But at such a late point, the difference between the expected outcome of a war today and the expected outcome of a war post-proliferation are rather similar. That is because a war today may very well see the would-be proliferator build a nuclear weapon in the middle of the conflict. And so all the rival state is doing is getting a small head start. Let me show you what I mean. If you have been following this saga for a long time, you would already know that what you are looking at, or perhaps not looking at, is one of Iran's nuclear facilities in Fordow. It is buried under a mountain.
Oh, that's so tough.
Keep that in mind, because one of the first things we will want to know once the damage assessments come in is whether Israel was able to inflict meaningful damage on it despite the dirt in between. The main drama that the world will be watching unfold over the next few days is whether Iran tries to race toward a bomb, especially if active military exchanges continue for the foreseeable future.
They built
Israel
the base
would have
in
to
a
stay
mountain.
ahead of the game, constantly trying to figure out where Iran may be shifting elements of its nuclear program, where it might be trying to design the delivery mechanisms, and where it may be assembling a finished weapon. Because one mistake there means that Iran will successfully acquire a nuclear weapon.
Like,
and
okay, this is the thing, right? Is it just coercive power? Because, like, if you have a nuke, like, bro, I actually wonder, like, all this shit we're talking about, like, having nukes, bro, like, at what point is it just like, hey, fuck around and find out when it comes to nuclear weapons? Like, at what point is it no longer, is it just like, okay, like, you really called our bluff, is that what it is? And then they just drop a nuke on somebody? Like, is that how this ends? Like, what? Yeah, if it lets me click on this.
All of the coercive power that comes with it. Now,
The
to be
coercive
clear,
power.
there is no guarantee that if Israel fails during this process, that Iran would actually use a nuclear weapon. States with nuclear weapons get involved in military disputes with decent frequency. Heck, Ukraine recently invaded
That's
Russia
what I'm
without
saying.
nuclear blowback, while India and Pakistan had that flare-up that has not gone any further so far. Still, though,
It's like, bro, is somebody like, is a nuke gonna like? Okay, we're like, oh yeah, if you have nukes, that means don't mess with us, bro. But then like we still mess with each other anyways. So like, I'm actually wondering, like, will any of these conflicts ever end up like with someone actually using a nuke? Like, at what point does this end? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
the only times that nuclear weapons have been used in a military context were at the
World
end
War II,
of
yeah.
World War II.
It's been a
in
long time because
Hiroshima
of
and Nagasaki. It is reasonable to think that if Iran reaches the point where it acquires
like,
a
are they gonna
nuclear
nuke
bomb,
Israel? Like,
and
what?
it becomes well known to everyone that Iran has a nuclear bomb, then the parties may decide that now would be a great time to negotiate a settlement and avoid all of the costs that may come along with a nuclear exchange between the two.
That's a nuclear exchange, bruh. I mean, I wouldn't even put it past Israel to fucking actually try and do it. Like, but, bro, if they do that, then like, oh, they're gonna get wiped off the map. Like, they don't. I don't think they actually want to do it. Like, that's the thing about nukes. Like, I don't think like, we know what they can do and how destructive they are. And World War II was just, insane. So, like, I don't know. I feel like everybody has them. Nobody really wants to use them, but like at some point, someone might be crazy enough to actually use it, and that's what I fear.
But perhaps the most frightening scenario is that Iran manages to scrounge together a single nuclear warhead. That is not what we call in the business a secure second strike. It is an incredibly valuable asset that Israel would want to hunt down and eliminate as fast as possible.
Man.
Consequently,
Like, yeah, Netanyahu, bro, you're playing a dangerous game, bro.
there will be a temptation for Iran to deliver a nuclear weapon as soon as it has one ready. Not a guarantee, but a temptation. Israel still has its own nuclear arsenal, and it could choose a nuclear response. But there is a major geographic difference here. Iran is a much larger country than Israel.
Yeah, exactly.
A
Exactly.
couple of bombs on, say, Tel Aviv and parts of Jerusalem would knock out a major
Bro, the
portion
whole
of
country's
Israel's
gone, bro.
political base and economy.
Like, look at this, bro. Look how big Iran is. You see that? That's Iran, right? Bro, literally, like, just a few nukes on top of Israel, it's gone, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, that's why I'm like, bro, what are they, like, they're literally just, it's just so, it doesn't make any sense, bro.
Never mind send the world into a tailspin. And on
Yeah,
that
like,
happy
it would
note, seems
literally,
that the interesting
the world has
times will not
changed
end for
forever.
us. I will see you tomorrow on Lines on Maps Extra with a discussion about what Israel's strategy may
Oh
be
my
here
God.
in the broader context of geopolitics and the United States. Until then, if you enjoyed this video, then please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.
Okay, y'all, that's just about to be it. It is 3 a.m. Central, and I'm tired. But I hope all 8 of you who watched the stream enjoyed it. Thank you for tuning in. I know it's very late, so I know somebody's been watching it. So I'd like to thank you. Go ahead, give me a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back every Monday and Friday, I think. Yeah. And we'll just be uploading clips from the streams throughout the week. But yeah, that is we covered a fair bit of topics today. Trump, Israel, Iran, crazy stuff going on, and I don't know, man. I'm here for the ride, so just come here, tune in with me, subscribe to the channel, and I'll have more updates and more content out for y'all as time goes on. And hey, remember, stay hungry, stay hungry for knowledge, and get organized. if you are in America, like we're gonna talk more about that next time. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of work to do. So yeah, this has been KJB. Let's hope that no one drops any nukes on each other anytime soon. But yeah. All right. Peace.